Hey, welcome back. This is EC's EDC, and today we're taking a look at the Aer Pro Pack. This one happens to be the 20-liter version. So the Pro Pack comes in 3 versions. There's the 24, the 20, and Aer also has a slim version, which I think is somewhere around 12 liters. It's pretty small, mostly because it's so much narrower. This one here is the 20-liter version. Do some quick stats here. I don't know them off the top of my head. So this one is 17.5 inches tall, 12 inches wide, and has a depth of 5.5 inches. Comes in at 2.5 pounds, 2.4 pounds on Aer's website, and the exterior materials are 840D CORDURA Recore, so that's the recycled version of the nylon fabric. But let's jump in and take a look at the outside of the bag. So historically, you think of Aer bags, there's usually that zipper here on the front pocket. Aer has moved away from that on some of the newer models they released. The Pro Pack does not have that. It has instead this more flat silhouette on the front, or flat profile. No exterior pockets here accessible on the front pocket, but we do have some branding. In previous bags, you might remember there would be a small black Hypalon tag, maybe tethered somewhere down on the side, but they've moved to a, I don't know if it's plastic or metal, but it's subtle. It's subtle enough that I don't mind it. Here, right at the top of the bag. There is an admin compartment, which extends to here. You can see where these 4 stitches are. That allows the front panel here to expand outwards as you start to put things inside the bag. Inside here, there is one internal zip pocket. Actually has space for an air tag, which is nice. I love that little feature. We've got ourselves a small key leash with a spring-loaded clasp. Flip the bag up so you can see in. This extends down to the top of those 2 lower stitchings. So a little bit more than halfway. And because it only folds up here, this does turn into a bit of a bucket, so you can throw stuff in there and not really worry about it falling out. There is one slip pocket, and it's sized to fit a field notes or, a small notebook long ways. There is also a small slot pocket, not quite big enough for your standard pen. So this would be a good fit for maybe a small flashlight, perhaps a multi-tool or a knife, some small things, maybe flash drives. And then lastly, there is an elastic mesh pocket right here. I don't really use too much of the smaller organization in this bag. We're going to talk about that a lot as we get into it. But there is tons of pockets and zippers and nooks and crannies for you to put all your little things. I'm personally more of a person. I'm of the mindset that I like to use pouches. Pouches are just easier for me to move bag to bag. So if you like everything to have its home and for a home to be somewhere in the bag, this Pro Pack and the Pro Pack series in general provides a ton of organization. So that's the front. On top of the bag, we have one super padded handle. This is seatbelt material. There is quite a significant amount of foam in this. This is a super comfy handle. Pretty sure I say that about most of the Aer bags I've reviewed or handled. They just, I just think of comfort when I think of Aer. And there's no quick access pocket here at the top. We do have an entire compartment up here, which is like far more than quick access. This is it's like a whole nother admin section. We'll talk about that in a bit. And on the side of the bag, we have 2 water bottle pockets. You can see that it is not a mesh pocket. but the way that it contracts and expands is from this bit of elastic, and it actually goes inside here. So in here, the elastic's sewn all the way back on that side of the panel. And as the panel, the fabric moves to expand, it actually rubs on this elastic. And I want to show you, so this is typically where I keep my water bottle. You can see this is wearing out. So this is the effect of bottles going in, bottles coming out, things going in, and this is really beginning to wear out, and I'm kind of waiting for it to rip or fail, and having to deal with that in the future. So something to mention. Also found that it's not really that great at retaining the bottle. This is empty currently, but when it's on your side, the bottle can slide out, and I just didn't love it altogether as a bottle pocket. I think you can do better. I prefer sort of the ultra stretch mesh pocket that you see on bags occasionally. Last up, we have our back panel and the harness system. Aer, for me, I just associate them with comfort. This bag is no different. You've got a super beefy panel here. This is going to breathe really well. A ton of mesh and foam here. Huge channel for air to flow against your back. Same can be said about the straps. They are curved, so they're ergonomic, and this is generally a very comfortable backpack. I preferred the 24 liter. I'm just under 6 feet tall. This felt a little too small on my frame. I also felt like the straps were a little too small, especially when I had a coat on. The extra layer made me bigger, so the straps kind of felt like they stopped somewhere around here. We do have a luggage pass-through. This is great. Simple feature to include, makes your bag more compatible for travel, increases your use cases. And the bag also comes with a magnetic sternum strap. Someone kindly pointed out to me in a previous video that where I struggled to undo this, you just pinch these together and the magnet releases. So I have started to enjoy this a little bit more. I still don't love the idea of a magnetic sternum strap, just because it will connect with itself when it's close enough. A little bit more branding here. This is that traditional Hypalon tab that you see on a lot of Aer bags, and they've included that in the front. Do note that this sternum strap is not removable, at least, you could, but it's on a rail. Not sure how easy it'll be to put it back on the bag. Bag also comes with strap keepers. Great touch. Such a small thing to include to make the experience of the bag better. Keeping these neat and tidy while you're wearing the bag. So nothing else to mention here. That's your harness system, very comfortable. Let's dive in to the main compartment. So again, this is the 20 liter. And I don't have a ton of stuff inside. Ditch the water bottle. But I got a few things. So in here, we can see this large admin pouch, or admin stash quick access pocket. We're going to look at that in a bit. But this does eat into the main cavity. And when you do use it and pack it out, this really does take up a lot of space. So I found that you need sort of smaller items down here because you're also battling with this large pocket on the inside of the external panel. So both of these compete for space in the top, and you're really just left with this lower space. So I've got my headphones, bring those with me every day to work. I've got my half cap by Evergoods, which has been great. It's a perfect catch-all for some of my smaller things that come with me in my bag. And then I've got my tech pouch this week, which is the Philip Rabot admin pouch, and it's just a nice, handy little way for me to organize my stuff. So inside the main cavity, we have one, it's not stretchy, but one sort of slip pocket. You can divide your stuff if you want, throw in some magazines. I typically have a notebook in here, and that's just where that lives. We do have some branding in here, small tag that indicates, you know, which version of the bag you have, and a little bit about the materials. Outside of that, nothing to note inside the main compartment here. Now here's that pocket I mentioned earlier. This is, you know, sizable for something about, you know, size of your hand to fit in there. Works great. Nothing to say about that. Just a nice another internal pocket. And that is everything for the inside of this bag. Earlier I mentioned ton of organization, and you do have that, right? So we've got that admin compartment with another internal zippered pocket. You've got one sort of stash pocket here, this smaller one that I'm using for a pen holder, and then the mesh pocket here. We have another similar style pocket right here. Now this, let's see how we're gonna do this. This is very sizable. So in here you have one large divider that you can put your items behind. And then on the front side, there are two smaller stash pockets. I've got a small, or I think it's the micro topo pouch here. I just keep a hero clip here. And then generally I keep sunglasses and or glasses in here. I have kept a Cap 1 fully loaded in here as well, but when I do that, everything else sort of is rendered useless because of how big that is. But half cap, sunglasses, and earlier, you know, I mentioned how that eats into the space here. So adding in the Evergoods pouch, you can really see how bulky that is, and you're just taking away from this main space that you're working with. Overall, that little admin compartment is really useful. It's great for being able to organize your items the way you want to, but for me, you know, I was like struggling to find things to put into here because normally I just work with a few pouches and you know, that's that. This is it's very systematic. It wants you to use all the you know, all the pockets and the nooks and the crannies in the bag. But that said, very useful in general. I think they did a good job with thinking about meaningful ways to use the bag. You know, if this bag is in front of you at your workstation, maybe you've got some tech stuff in here, your charger, cables, adapters, you know, maybe something for your monitor. And it just opens up, you know, right in front of you. Of course, it's not going to stand right now. It's kind of lopsided, but it does stand on its own when you do have items in the bottom. And this could definitely provide you with, you know, sort of a mobile workstation, if that's what you're into. But that is the bag. So this is the Pro Pack 20 liter, and I do generally like it. Again, I think Aer makes really comfortable bags. The harness system, super squishy. I would probably go for a 20 liter if I were to only keep one. Not sure I'm gonna end up keeping this one just because it's, I think, a little too small for me. But it is very comfortable. So outside of, you know, the organization battle that I'm kind of fighting with this bag and the way that I pack it, the only other thing that I would say is it's a little on the boxy side. It's not too boxy. It is, online it says 5.5 inches deep. When you do put stuff into it, it does sort of expand and it feels a little bit bigger, especially when you have the 24 liter. So just be mindful of that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's, you know, all backpacks are a little boxy by nature, but yeah, I think it's an aesthetic thing. So if you like the way airbags look, you're gonna love this. And if you prefer something different, you know, go in a different direction. I don't think I mentioned this. Zippers are YKK, and this laptop zipper, we actually didn't even look at the laptop compartment. Let's do that now. Laptop compartment. So laptop compartment right here, it is fleece lined, super padded, another piece of padding here to protect it against whatever you put in this pocket, which I have a 11-inch iPad right here. And there's also space for you to throw more stuff on the outside of this same divider that you see on the inside of the bag. Definitely sized to fit at least a 16-inch MacBook Pro. This is a 14-inch machine, just so you're aware. But 16 inches will easily fit, probably somewhere right around that label and branding. But what I was going to say is zippers on the bag are YKK. This is the only PU coated or weather resistant zipper. All the others are just your standard reverse coil. But yeah, that is the Aer Pro Pack. So, you know, leave me your thoughts. What do you think about this bag? Is it a bag you're looking to purchase? Are you on the fence maybe with another bag? But I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you have a great day. So until the next one, stay good. I'll see you then.